Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanius here. Welcome to this first episode of this NHL 23 Washington Capitals franchise mode. As you guys can see, I'm obviously an Oilers fan, but a team that I have really been keeping an eye on here recently and actually got the idea through a Reddit user from was to do a Washington Capitals franchise mode where we try to, finish out Ovi's career, not just base the franchise around Ovi breaking the goal record, but more so actually try to make the team competitive still, maybe blow it up in the process and rebuild it once Ovi retires. But the goal with this franchise mode is to win a Stanley Cup or win multiple Stanley Cups with Ovechkin as the coach. So yes, that is going to be the caveat here today. But let's jump into this and get started. I think it's going to be a really fun franchise mode. And yes, we are using my custom rosters. You should be able to go and download those if you are on Xbox Series X or S. But yeah, today going to be really fun. I think I am going to do a custom league setup simply based on the fact that then we can realign the AHL and it works a little bit better for that reason. But really, for the most part, it's going to be the exact same NHL you guys have seen. We're literally not going to change any settings here when it comes to divisional alignment, things like that. It's just so that we actually have the option to go and adjust there a little bit. So, of course, GM Etanios is going to be the one stepping in with Washington here to make sure that we, get Ovechkin to stay on board and play as a coach. Obviously, we'll be doing like a crapshoot kind of save there to make sure that he actually stays on the team, as far as we'll save just before retirement every year. Make sure that he, one, if he retires, that, he retires and becomes a coach. And two, if he doesn't do that, then we just, save it from there and try it again kind of thing. So, yeah, just going to do some quick realignment here. I got to rename the divisions and do the AHL, but yeah, that'll only take a minute here. All right, so now that the conferences and divisions and everything are all named properly, we can advance here. And all right, let's continue, because if I hit any other buttons, I'll probably mess it up. So we're going to be playing owner mode, that's for sure. We're not going to do GM firing, because otherwise we'll probably get fired. I don't like Fog of War or the coach heading my lines. I do like player morale, though, because it helps players grow to higher ratings. Like, you can get top 6 forwards up to like 90 overall by the time they're like 28, 29. So yeah, those are the only settings we're going to leave on. You guys let me know if you think there's any settings I should change, but really at this point, this is kind of what we're going with, what we're not necessarily stuck with, but what we're going to probably play by. So yeah, let me know what settings you think I should use in the comments below, but for the most part, this is what we're going to be using. As far as custom league settings go, we can't touch those now. Those are all set in stone. And all right, let's use one of my presets. Yeah, so I do a custom style here, but we are going to have it set to superstar. I honestly think we're going to just simulate pretty much all of this. We're going to do yeah, let's go with hard trade difficulty. So that's going to make things a little bit more difficult for us to really manage to set up here. I'm going to be doing pretty much all the scouting here in this series, so that's going to make things a little bit more different, but should be fun. And as far as advanced settings go, we're going to go fully healed on injuries. We're going to edit everything. We're going to put sim engine scoring to high, just because that usually tends to turn out quite well as far as like how accurate the numbers are. McDavid ends up scoring 150 point seasons kind of thing. Sometimes, I mean, it doesn't always happen. Apart from that, let's see, maybe let's put, yeah, okay, we'll play medium on all the rest of these. I usually like to turn them to high, but I think we're going to try to keep this fairly realistic here for the most part. I think it's going to be really fun doing that and getting your guys' input and feedback on everything in the drafts and the scouting and which players we need to go for and that kind of stuff. We're going to be relying heavily on the comment section for this series. So that's the settings we're going for advanced. As far as gameplay sliders go, the only thing I'm going to crank down here is going to be injuries. That's pretty much it. Injuries just really bug me when we're trying to simulate through an entire season, so we're going to bump those down to like 10 each. If there's, again, still too many injuries while we're simulating, then we'll obviously go and adjust that. But yeah, apart from that, honestly, I don't think we're going to touch much else. I think maybe, yeah, we'll put difficulty adjustment fully up, but at the same time, we're probably not going to be playing games. We're going to be sitting back and commentating them for the most part. That's going to make it a lot more fun. We're going to do this in a, like, 2BC, like Johnny Hockey kind of style of series here. So yeah, I want to just hear what you guys think about that, and if you like that style, or if you want me playing games, or what you want. Again, leave all your opinions in the comments below, but let's get to this. All right, guys, so jumping in here, let's take a look at the team and just, how things are looking. Really, it's a solid team, but it's nothing super crazy or super special by any means. We have some really solid assets and, competitive players here on our team that, we can actually turn into potential trade pieces if we necessarily need to. But overall, the Washington Capitals have a solid system and solid core here, at least for the next couple of years. But really, it is starting to age. I think we will. I realize now Orlov's on this roster. I need to adjust that. So we'll probably just trade Orlov straight up to the Boston Bruins kind of thing. That would actually be probably the first move that we really make here. Apart from that, we got a good goalie in Kuemper there, at least for the next couple of seasons. Like, I do think we could really try to push this team into trying to be a cup contender again, potentially. But at the same time, we could go the exact opposite direction and try to blow it up depending on how things go and how our seasons go. So yeah, really, we're just getting set up more so to, I would love to land a guy like Miroschnichenko. That would be a huge, huge plus for the draft. But then again, why is Miroschnichenko not on our team? Okay, I'm going to have to go back and resave that because he should be on like Hershey. And obviously that didn't save, so that's inaccurate because he's one of our best prospects coming up here. And that sucks because we shouldn't have to like redraft him, but we're going to, or I'm going to have to just reset this save here quickly. All right, I guess second time's the charm here because now we've got everything set up a little bit better, and I think we are ready to go. So, like I said before, Miroschnichenko is the guy that, I would love to go out and get. I don't know if we're going to get him or if we're going to find a different prospect in here, what's going to happen. This Zigamanis guy looks interesting too for being a top 5. Normally, not too many guys really end up in the top 5. And I think Christian Stromberg might be a pretty good player too, so we'll see what happens there. And even, yeah, maybe like Duke Frank could be a good one too. We'll keep an eye on those guys because, again, you never know. And apart from that, again, most of the Russian prospects are generated from year 1, so that's really exciting because then, we can potentially go out and get better guys for this team. A goalie probably wouldn't be a bad thing to, go after either. I don't know if we're going to get a Russian goalie this year necessarily, but yeah, the Russian factor is definitely something Washington's not worried to deal with, and I think that's really going to add to this franchise mode, honestly, as we continue to go on. I think it's going to make it really a lot more interesting and fun. So yeah, obviously I'm going to be doing pretty much all the scouting here when it comes to actually getting our scouts set up, getting everything in place, and then yeah, once we actually have Ovechkin retired, who knows when that's going to be though. Could be 1 year into this franchise mode, it could be 5 years into this franchise mode. Like, we can't be certain, obviously, but yeah, 36 years old already. He is getting up there in age, he's getting a little long in the tooth, but at the same time, this team's still got a lot to offer, and I think that's going to make it all the more fun and exciting for this franchise mode. So yeah, looking at the rest of the Capitals team here, though, we do have some pretty solid players for the most part. Not too many bad players by any means. Guys like Anthony Mantha, or Tom Wilson are, decent trade pieces, and we could do like a mini reset rebuild, but again, I don't think we're going to want to do that until Ovi retires. So yes, we are setting this up to try and make sure that, this team tries to win with Ovi on the team still, but if that doesn't end up being the case, then it's not really a big deal. It's more so just like, okay, well, it's unfortunate that we didn't win another cup during the Ovi era, but we're gonna do an Ovi coaching era as well, as I said earlier. And yeah, so here's the team. That's what we're kind of working with. As far as our prospect pool goes, we don't have a crazy ton of prospects. We have a couple decent guys in here, guys like Connor McMichael, Ludwig Persson. Oh wait, did I do? Yep, I accidentally made a duplicate. Okay, man, we have got lots of errors in here. So And not only that, but I made him 16 as well, so that's all incorrect. So yeah, this is the real Ludwig Persson here, the 60 rated one, but the 67 rated one is obviously incorrect, and we'll probably just end up using him as a trade piece because that is my bad. So yeah, I don't even know how we got a 16-year-old guy on the system here. I must have like really messed up his age or something. So yeah, anyways, don't get me wrong, there's a couple errors in my roster here, but yeah, apart from that, you know, we do have Garrett Bjorklund, who actually usually turns out to be a fairly solid starting goaltender in spite of being a 6th round pick. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. Alexeyev should be a solid top 4 D-man for years to come on this team, and I'm hoping Vinny Iorio also turns out to be that, because usually he does. So yeah, we'll just work on our prospect development there with those guys. And, you know, we should be able to build a semi-solid team in Washington. Obviously, we are missing the majority of the pieces to make this team competitive and very skilled and good. But we've got one there in Ivan Miroschnichenko, who should be a really solid player for years to come. Apart from that, not too much else. Again, Washington has really committed on trading prospects and future assets away for the most part, rather than, you know, acquiring them to try and win with Ovi, which makes sense. But really, apart from that, we are going to be looking to try and maybe land a draft steal or two here on this team. And if you guys think I should trade up for Miroschnichenko, I mean, I want to see what you guys think, but really, I'm just going to start off by getting my scouting set up and ready to go for the start of the season. We'll quick sim through preseason and then do like month by month kind of calendar sim for the first half of the year. We'll get up to just before the trade deadline, and that's where we'll leave this episode off, because, you know, the first episode usually takes a little bit longer to get everything set up, but I need your guys' feedback, because that's going to make this series go. That's going to be what makes this series tick. And yeah, I really am excited for it. So let's let me get my scouting set up, and then I'll be back with you guys once we have all our scouts in place. We've pretty much got all our scouts set up. We've got 4 NHL scouts, and then the rest are all going to be amateur scouts. So that's going to help with just, you know, us actually scouting players properly. So that Hector Draper guy is now set up to, or he's going to be set up in the WHL. Yeah, okay, so he's set up. That's perfect. Okay, so last guy we're waiting for here is that Shen guy that I just offered a contract to, and he should join. Perfect. All right, so now our scouts are all set up, ready to go. I just need to actually scout with them, and yeah, that'll make things quite a bit easier. So now that all the scouting is in, I think we are ready to just get started here, start simulating, see how we do. I mean, in the real 2022-23 season, Washington finishes like 8th last, I think. So really, who knows how this first little bit's going to go. If it goes really good, great. But if it doesn't, then that's definitely something we need to look into and address, and I want your guys' input on especially. So let's just take a peek at how good this Washington team actually looks here in year 1. So year 1, we got 93 offense, 90 defense, and 85 goaltending. That's a very solid team for the most part. Like, there's no like apparent weaknesses with the team. It's just more so if the age is going to become a factor here, because Washington is one of the oldest teams in the league at this point, and I wouldn't be surprised if we, you know, do start losing. So as far as the AHL team goes, I think we actually got some solid depth here. Yeah, it's not bad. 77 offense, 76 defense, and 67 goaltending. So goaltending is probably the area we will want to be looking to improve on. I don't know exactly who we'd be going for, which goalie prospects maybe we'd look to get. Obviously, I do think Garrett Bjorklund could become a #1 option potentially, but you know, if we get like an elite draft steal kind of goalie, then maybe they'll develop properly too. That's always an option. But yeah, we lose 4-1 in our season opener there, even though it is in Calgary. So yeah, Ovi scores 1 goal, again, not really surprising. And just taking a look, I guess let's just figure out where exactly Ovi's sitting at the record too. Obviously the record's going to be a fairly important thing still for Ovechkin and just the identity of this team. He's at 781 or 780 to start the season, so that means he needs 114 more goals to tie the record, or sorry, 114 from here to break the record, but he only needs 113 to tie it. So we'll keep an eye on him. But yeah, let's start kind of simulating through the calendar here, see how our month by month goes. And yeah, this should make the save a little bit more interesting. So starting things off, we win against Edmonton there, and looks like we pass we beat the Pens 5-0. So that's a fairly substantial win there. But then we lose to Tampa Bay and then beat Ottawa. And let's see. All right, so yeah, Miroschnichenko obviously going to be a steal there at pick number 3. But yeah, I'm interested in this Zigomanis guy too. Obviously, there are going to be lots of really good players in this draft because, again, it's this year. This draft is just a crazy solid year to start with anyways. But looks like we're doing all right so far. Like, we haven't really had any horrendously bad games yet. We've lost a couple here and there, but okay. Yeah, not a particularly bad start. How good is... Oh, hello, Corey Hendrix. Okay, so right off the bat, looks like we will probably have a draft steal there around pick 46, 47 or so. And yeah, the U.S. league is going to be a good league for producing steals like that. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on those U.S. players, obviously, but yeah, not a bad start there by any means for potential we might be looking at. So the draft is always a fun... It's one of my favorite parts of the game. I don't know if you guys necessarily feel the same way about franchise mode like that, or if, you know, the mode we're playing here is going to be more set on the team winning and playing well. But at the moment, you know, the team is playing quite well. So let's see. We got Connor McMichael back. I believe he would have been playing, yeah, second line center. Oh boy. Okay, so that is an error on my part as far as we're not playing Miroschnichenko. That's going to hurt his development. So let's get him in there with Connor McMichael, and hopefully that will kind of help both of them develop. I don't want to like overplay Miroschnichenko either, because that could be a problem for his development. But at the moment, you know, he's an other forward, so third line AHL minutes should be all right. Let's see, did I miss anybody else in here for like really solid potential? Yeah, Lapierre should be playing, Iorio should be playing. Why aren't these guys back in junior? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, that's not great. Okay, let's go edit this AHL lineup and make sure we get all of our other guys in here, because this is going to be a problem if I don't take care of it. So, first things first, Lapierre, get him in there. I don't think that's going to necessarily help his development, but it's not going to stunt it if we play him there. And then we got Iorio and Persson can probably play the left wing on the bottom line there. That should be all right. I believe he's listed as a center, though. Holy moly, we got a lot of low-end kind of quality talents there. So, let's see. Apart from that, Iorio's going to be... Yeah, let's put him here. Okay. All right, so that should immediately make things better for our team's development and overall kind of prospect growth and abilities. But let's see, I wonder... I do like the Backstrom, Ovi, and Wilson line. I think that's going to be a really good line, so we'll see if that holds up. Obviously, the defense is crap. I actually need to trade. So that will be something we do, is I need to trade Dmitry Orlov, but we're just going to wait a little bit longer here. And really, our team's simulating fairly well here. We're 6-3 to start off the first month, 7-3. And yeah, we're right in the middle of the pack off the bat, you know, 14 points in 10 games. It's not bad at all. Nothing crazy like the Hurricanes or Devils, but let's see, who's really... Anaheim simulating like they should there with 6 points in 12 games. Arizona's doing about as bad as expected. Chicago is not a team that I expected to be third place in their division right now, but that's, you know, it is what it is. Let's see, who else is a kind of surprise team? That's Pittsburgh's doing fairly bad, 10 points in 15 games. So yeah, keep an eye on the Pens there too. But we're off to a solid start, and we're just going to keep on trucking along here on the sim. So yeah, 4-2 win there against Columbus there, gets us up to 8-3. We beat the Hot Devils there as well. But then shootout loss to the Rangers. This team is actually doing way better than I expected. Now and then we start to lose a couple. We lose 3 in a row now. Okay. All right, make it 4. Ooh, as we lose to the Arizona Coyotes. That is not a good team to lose to, but we do indeed. So, uh-oh. Might have a problem there if we're not careful. And there, okay, we do finally beat a team there in St. Louis, but man, we lost quite a few games there in a row. And yeah, we lose Jensen and Carlson to injuries too, so now our defense just looks horrendous. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to lose. My goodness, Connor McMichael is just like injured beyond belief. I've never seen a guy just out the whole year with injuries. Like every time he gets better, he immediately gets injured again. That's funny. But yeah, you know, Rasmus Sandin's one of the few kind of like bright spots for prospects that we have in this team that are actually playing in the team. And again, he's from Toronto, and then he gets injured. So, all right, 11-8-3. We're essentially 11-11, and yeah, we're not sitting pretty here. So, yeah, we're 2 months in. 2 months, yeah, 2 and a bit months in. No, 1, 2. Yeah, so we're heading into our 3rd month here in December, and we are currently sitting. Let's see. There's not too many teams behind us. We got New York behind us. We got Ottawa behind us. We got. Okay, no, we got a couple more there as far as Winnipeg, Dallas, Chicago, and Arizona. So that's 6 teams, and then 7 with Anaheim. Yikes. Okay, so we are sitting 8 last. So apparently my roster sims fairly accurately. I find that quite funny. But so far, Niklas Backstrom leads the team, 29 points, 28 games. Ovi's got 16 goals in 22 games. And all right, Austin Matthews is torching the league right now, 26 and 29 for his goal scoring. McDavid's doing all right, I would say. But yeah, this Toronto line is just a juggernaut. And yeah, Ovi's sitting okay as far as scoring goes. I don't know if he's going to win another rocket in his career or not, but we'll see. And yeah, the Toronto Maple Leafs seem to be kind of your team to beat juggernaut this year. Slavkovsky's simming nicely, 21 points in 32 games. That's, I think, what a lot of Habs fans were hoping for from a #1 pick, but obviously injuries and other things riddled him in the real life NHL this year. So, okay, that is where we're sitting, you know, 22 games in. Obviously, we still have quite a few games to play, so we could bump ourselves back up. I didn't realize we were so short-handed and behind on the schedule, but yeah, we are. So now we've hit December 1st, and we got 1 more month of simulating before I got to scout again. So we're gonna just go up to the beginning of January, and that's where we'll leave it for this first episode. And I want your guys' input. What do you think we do with the team? Give me some ideas as far as how are we gonna trade, how are we gonna make deals, what are we doing with this roster? Are we blowing it up with an 11-8-3 record, or are we, you know, really committing to the push for Ovi right now? Like, let me know what we're doing, because, you know, I do want Ovi to try and get 1 more cup. I think that would be really cool in his playing career anyways. Obviously, we're going to set this up so that he can try to win cups as a coach, but, you know, Zigelmanis looks all right. He looks like a Backstrom-esque player, quite literally. And then, of course, Miroschnichenko just being a crazy good sniper. I don't know why they don't compare him to... I guess he doesn't really play like Ovechkin. He's just that pure of a goal scorer more so. We got another good player here, Christian Stromberg, too. Keep an eye on him. We could potentially snag him a little bit later on in the draft if we want to. And then, yeah, apart from that, it's really just those other steel kind of guys that we were already looking at in Hendrix, and I assume this Avery Oda guy is going to be pretty solid too. But yeah, Corey Hendrix is really the guy we want to go out and get, because he can play both. Can he play both wings? No, he can't. So Oda might be a better pick in that sense. But okay, draft's not looking too bad so far. We're really more so just kind of waiting on who else we can find here for potential steals. And again, the U.S. seems to be producing a solid amount of guys that look like they're actually going to be good prospects. So I believe, no, one of the last sims I played, Gruber somehow got an X Factor on him. Don't ask me how, but it happens every now and then where like already generated or already rostered players somehow just end up with X Factors, even if they're not like super high potential or anything like that. But yeah, that's the draft so far. Things are looking solid, but not crazy necessarily. And we definitely have quite a bit more scouting to do here still before we really get a full sense of how this entire draft is going to look, because again, there's tons of players and just not quite enough scouts for me to get it all done in one go and just be like, yep, we're scouted, we're good to go, let's continue on. So yeah, we will keep simming here, and okay, we get no results there off of the calendar, so who knows how we're actually doing. Let's put Sandin back in here. Maybe we just, yeah, go like that for now. How's Kuemper doing? Okay, 891, not great. Charlie Lindgren's been a lot better, even though he's only won 2 out of the 7 games. He's had a 963 save percentage. That's pretty wild, honestly, especially with this team in front of him. But, okay, we're going to get those Vancouver Edmonton results. There we go. Okay, so we did win those 2 games in the beginning of December there, but we lose another Hershey player to injury, and Edler for Alexeyev, I don't think so. LA, nice try. That's one of our best defensive prospects, so I think I'm going to say no to that. Okay, we got, what's his name back here? I got Nick Jensen back, so that's always a good thing. And yeah, really, this team is just, it's not good, but it's not bad either. Like, we're sitting middle of the pack for sure, so. All right, 17 and 14, essentially. Ooh, and we lose Ovi to a mild concussion. He's going to miss probably 3 games here, so yeah. This is 2 for sure. But yeah, okay, Ovi's doing all right. Still, he's got 23 goals in 32 games. He's over a point per game still, as he is just an absolute unit of a player. But yeah, I think at this point we probably should be committing more so to winning. Again, 42 points in just 34 games. We are set on the right path and trajectory for this team to try and commit to winning a cup again. And really, I don't think we need too many additional pieces to make this team really scary. I think all we got to do is swap Orlov for a different, better fitting defenseman more so. And then once we do that, that really kind of sets us up for more success with this team, because again, if we have like a Sandin Carlson top pairing and then we can build out this defense a little bit better, I really do think this team can contend. Yeah, like there's not a lot wrong with the team. It's really just more so adding 1 or 2 depth pieces in the right areas and letting the team just, you know, do its thing, work its magic kind of thing. So that's what I'm looking at more so. Let's just go over the trading block nice and quickly. If you guys see anybody that stands out in here that you think we should go for, let me know, because honestly, every now and then there's some really interesting pieces on the trade block. So yeah, just if you see anybody you think we should go for, give it a shout down in the comments below. I know Zion Nybeck ends up simulating and turning into a really solid player usually, so maybe we go for him as a little prospect pickup for later, but really it's going to be hard to do both as far as committing to getting winning players now and then, you know, also picking up prospects along the way. Like, that's just such a hard strategy to actually back up. So it's really going to be one or the other more so. Andrew Kopp's an interesting player as far as he would add a lot of depth to our forward core, but I don't know if we get him necessarily. Again, Matvei Petrov's another one of those guys where he just sims really well on this roster and on this, like when I do franchise mode saves. So again, that's a Russian player I would be down to potentially go out and get, along with like a defensive piece from Edmonton maybe, if you guys think that's a good idea. Spurgeon's a good defenseman too. Like there's quite a few guys in here that are really good players that would, I think, fit our team fairly effectively. It's more so just a matter of who are those guys? Who are we going out and actually trading for? So again, leave comments in the comment box. I really do think that that just by making 1 or 2 trades, this team does become a full-on contender trying to win a cup. Maybe we go get Grubauer back. That would be really cool. Actually, it's just his contract's horrendous, so that's really more so where we're sitting on that as far as not getting him back. Shalgren's not a bad goalie option. Honestly, that wouldn't be too bad. Who else is going to be good in here? Well, Vegas has got some guys on the block that are like actually solid players. Niklas Haag would be one of those guys. You know, I would be down to go get him. 6'6" left-handed D-man. That wouldn't go too badly, I don't think. Paul Cotter always turns into a solid player. Hey, look, we got Nate Schmidt here still. So again, an ex-Washington guy. He would be really fun to go out and get, obviously. He played for Washington for quite a few seasons before. going to Vegas and then Vancouver and Winnipeg. So yeah, that's your trade block. Again, let me know who we should go for, because I do think we are committing, but let me know your thoughts, opinions, player choices, everything in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this one, also show your support down there with a like, subscription, and notification. And that is going to be it for this one. This is Etanio signing out, and until next time.